Welcome back, Berries fans. We have reached the end of the 2027 season. There you see the playoff tree. We're just about wrapping this up. Milwaukee Brewers currently lead the Seattle Mariners 3-2. There's a lot that's gone on with the Berries leading in the second half here. Team has not performed much better. We'll get into all of that, but there is some huge news out of everything that's been going on. It just literally shocked me here. Our team ownership changed because Jaden Bodrick, our owner, passed away. His son Preston is now taking over the ownership, which is really, really crazy to have happen. But I mean, it happens. And so our new owner, Preston, comes in with some new goals. He wanted us to don't suck completely this season. He wanted us to upgrade at first base, to acquire a Cy Young Award winner this season, to bring more of our drafted players to our team, to increase fan interest and build your team up to reach the playoffs. As well, Hobie Milner's reached out and said we need to do more in the Saskatoon community. So there is a ton going on just off the field. And when you take a look at it, we have our finish. We finished 71 and 91. So that was kind of borderline into the don't suck completely, which kind of threw a wrench into everything a little bit with some of these goals. They want us to upgrade it. We did finish ahead of the Houston Astros, so that's one thing. We aren't the worst team in our division. We actually had caught Indianapolis for a little bit, and then things kind of fell apart. We're still 29th in runs, 28th in average, 22nd in home runs, 29th in ERA, 28th in strikeouts, 21st in defensive efficiency. It's not been great. We need to upgrade at first base. I'm going to probably hold off on this one or maybe change this goal. We've been asked to acquire a Cy Young Award winner. That I think we can do, and I will show it when we get to free agency. We need to bring more of our drafted players to our team. We have until 2030 to do this, so we do have 3 years. We can start bringing some players up. There are some players getting close. The closest right now is Dylan Dreeling, who finished the year in Regina and actually finished the year very strong in Regina. So he's the closest we have there. And we definitely need increased fan interest. It's continuing to fall. Hopefully we can use the offseason and some free agency to do that. So there we have in the terms of the team. In terms of the players, it's been a bit of a rough year. Noel Marte struggled a bit, didn't have the best season. Edward Julian was okay, but not great. MJ Melendez was actually probably our best player. We might bring him back. We will see in the offseason. Josh Naylor, we need to get out from under this contract. He still has probably 2 years left. Keibert Ruiz was a nice surprise. He actually played league average as a hitter. So that was very nice. 104 OPS plus to finish the year. So, and 2.6 WAR. So a very solid investment in the catcher. We still have him for quite a few more years. His contract does continue to go up in value, but it really tops out at that 12 million. We probably get rid of that team option towards the end. As for the rest of the lineup, Jacob Marcy had a nice little finish to the season. He probably hasn't played himself into part of the at least platoon in center field for next year. Lenyon Sosa has been up and down with injuries. Drew Gilbert, I really need to bounce back next season. Averson Arteaga as well. Rotation, Grayson Rodriguez is what he is at this point. Griffin Canning was really bad in the second half. Robert Gasser hasn't been great all year. Gallardo is what he is. Brandon Sproat, the 5.76 ERA is a little scary, but he actually had some really, really good starts for us in the second half. Our bullpen figured it out. Jesus Figueroa figured it out. Hobie Milner was really, really good. Wisniewski was good. Mladzinski was okay. Manuel Rodriguez was okay. I actually really like our bullpen, what it did. Jack Leiter came up and pitched pretty well for us. Yuki Matsui was really, really good as lefty specialist. He got blown up a little at the end of the year, so I'm not too worried about that ERA. So the bullpen, I think, is fairly set. We have some work to do, obviously, in the rotation and the lineup, but we do have some money available to us. So we'll finish off the playoffs here. Make sure that we don't get fired. Hopefully we shouldn't with a new owner. And we can get to work on some of these goals. We're likely going to get rid of the upgrade at first base. There is a chance that we can switch it to one where we bring in more international money. And that's something I'd really like to do. The international amateur free agents look very solid. We've been scouting them for the last month. And I think there's some work that we can get some money there. Maybe make a trade to bring in some extra cash for us there. World Series final came down to 7 games, and the Milwaukee Brewers have knocked off the Seattle Mariners. It was really shocking. The Mariners are really, really good. We've seen them in our division. Taking a look at who the Brewers have, Sal Frelick, Nacho Alvarez Jr., Jackson Chourio is really, really good. Alheris Montero, Willie Adames, Still Garrett Mitchell, Jefferson Quiro, Tyler O'Neill, and Bryce Trang. So not a huge change from what the Brewers actually currently have. The rotation, Mizorowski, Cutter Crawford, Bowden Francis, and JP Sears make up their rotation. Anybody real standouts? Bowden Francis has become quite good, as has Cutter Crawford and Mizorowski. And in the bullpen, Jose Alvarado, Tim Herron, Miguel Castro, Josh Winder, Joe Kelly. So they have a very solid team. Although the pitching staff has changed a fair bit, really the lineup hasn't. So there you have your World Series champions in season 4 of the Milwaukee Brewers. So at the end of the season brings our season score. Our season score this year is 293. In fact, I think that might be the highest we've ever got. So it has been an improvement. So 293, we'll take it and move on to next season. It does not look like we have been fired. So first order of business in the offseason is looking at Hobie Milner. He has a team option for $10.6 million. That is a lot in terms of a reliever. But when you look at Milner, he's going to be 37, but look at his ERA plus. He's been very, very good for us. 3.62 ERA and a 2.45 ERA. I think this has got to be a bit of a no-brainer. We can bring him back. If it doesn't work out, we kind of cut it and shed some of the money, and it happens. But I think this is a player we need to execute the option on. Griffin Canning has also exercised his option. I believe that was like $6.3 million. Sorry, $6.5 million for the last season. So still a rotation piece for us. I think that works out for us. He's been, he hasn't been great, but we need somebody to eat some innings, and Griffin Canning was kind of that guy. So I'm okay with this one. Our new budget is not nearly as high as the last. We have a team payroll of around $130 million. That's pretty low, to be honest. So we've had a higher in the past, so we're taking a bit of a hit in terms of the budget. We'll see what we can do. End of the season top prospect report. Grady Emerson is number 19 in terms of the batters. Do we have anybody else we should on here somewhere? Brady Ebel is number 90 in terms of the hitters as well. Top prospects and pitchers, our number 1 pick from this year, Jeff Mann, who had a very, very good finish season, 1.76 ERA in his 9 games at A-ball was very, very good. He's looking like a stud moving up. And do we have anybody else in terms of pitchers? David Montmayor is still there. He had his struggles, but will probably return to A-ball. But he is slowly starting to improve that way. And I was hoping for one more. It doesn't look like it. So we have 4 guys in terms of the top prospects. Our player development lab, we're going to work on Averson Arteaga, learning a new position, like to kind of turn him maybe into a bit of a utility type guy. And then our prospects, Jeff Mann, Grady Emerson, David Montmayor, Brady Ebel, and Miguel Simon Jr., working on all kinds of different things with our prospects. Our new goals have changed a little bit. Don't suck completely. We need to upgrade at first base. Bring more of our drafted players to your team. We have a few years to do that. Increase fan interest. We really need to do that. And improve our international amateur fines. That's probably going to involve David Montmayor actually being good. It's been a bit of a struggle there in terms of our international fines, but that's what our goals are going to look like. And we'll see if we can upgrade at first base. In terms of salary arbitration, we have a ton of guys. We're not gonna bring back Brendan McKay. He just hasn't worked out in the minors. He was okay, but we'll let him go. Vidal Brujan, I think we need to open up some roster spaces, I think, a little bit. Utility guy, I think we could maybe find something a little bit cheaper as well. And Nelson Velasquez just has not worked out at all at the major league level. So he's going to be gone as well. We already have 5 outfielders. We do need to find a right-handed hitting outfielder, in my opinion, to balance things off, as 4 of them are currently lefties. So ideally, we can find something to work there on the free agency with a little bit cheaper. Tommy Edman will not be back, I don't think. If he does, we'll see what he wants in the free agency. And then Jake Rogers and Brady Singer are also going to be gone as well. Maybe we'll look for another backup catcher. So look at there. And minor league free agents, we're going to let them all go at this point. Will Brennan, Vinny Capra, Brendan Davis, Ali Sanchez, Elismandro Alcantara, and Raul Rangel will all be gone for us. We have claimed Tyler Black from the Milwaukee Brewers. I think this is a very interesting player. Second base and left fielder, so can play some outfield, kind of becomes a bit of a utility man, can play some third, can play some center, good speed, good power, decent enough contact. He has not really played much at the majors. I think this is very, very good player for us. Tyler Black is picked up on waivers. For, I believe, the 3rd straight year, Averson Arteaga wins the Gold Glove at shortstop. He didn't even spend the entire year in the majors, which is absolutely unreal. Your AL MVP winner is Colt Keith. And in the National League, it is Jackson Chourio of the World Series winning Milwaukee Brewers. Our Hall of Fame ballot includes Carlos Beltran, Mark Burley, Bartolo Colon, Felix Hernandez, Joe Mauer, Yadi Molina, Buster Posey, Albert Pujols, Jimmy Rollins, and CC Sabathia. The market and free agency out of Japan this offseason is unreal. Look at this Nakasone as 80 overall, 80 potential, 32 years old though. So it will be interesting to see where the contract goes on this type of player, but a big time lefty starter could be a huge get in the offseason. There's also a couple of relievers. Nishimura, 72 overall, 72 potential reliever, a left-handed reliever who would fit very, very well as well. He is 27, and Nobuyuka Sawai, a 29-year-old lefty reliever as well, a 65 overall, 65 potential. That looks very good as well. We have roughly $29 million available for free agency, so we'll see if we can spread this around a little bit and deepen the team. We definitely need a backup catcher. Some help in the starting rotation would be really nice for us. We'll see what comes of all that. We'd like to get a right-handed hitting outfielder as well, but that may be something we trade for. First trade of the offseason, we're going to send out right fielder MJ Melendez, who was very good for us last year, and catcher Ronald Hernandez, who came over in a deal, and he just can't hit. We're going to bring in a prospect in Shaylin Polanco. We're also going to pay down some money here as well. Basically, this moves out a left-handed outfielder for us, in my opinion, that we really, really need to do to balance that off a little bit. The Pirates have no money, so we're basically paying off to get rid of MJ Melendez and bring in a prospect for this deal. Draft lottery announcement in terms of the results. We will not be picking in the top 6. I think that's the first time that's ever happened to us. I don't know if we dropped out of it or not, but we are not going to be drafting in the top 6. The Marlins have the first pick overall, moving up from 4th. We've had a flurry of free agency signings come in for us. We have picked up starter Kyle Wright, 32 years old, only on a 1-year deal for $6.8 million. There's a bonus for innings if he reaches that. Just adds a little depth to us. Hit a 1.22 ERA plus last year for Portland. I think this just kind of helps us along. He's a very popular player as well, and that's going to help with the leadership of this team, and it also helps with team interest. So hopefully this is going to help that way. We also have picked up outfielder Edward Olivares. He can play the corners, solid contact hitter, some bit of power as well. Played pretty well in Pittsburgh last year. Again, another 1-year contract, $2.5 million, a right-handed bat for our outfield mix, which I think really helps there. We basically have 5 guys in that. And backup catcher, Endy Rodriguez, which is very, very interesting to me that he's able to bring him in as a backup catcher, a switch-hitting catcher, pairs with Keibert Ruiz, who's also a switch-hitting catcher, adds some solid defense. I really like the signing of Endy Rodriguez for our backup catcher spot. Hall of Fame voting, Albert Pujols and CC Sabathia have both been inducted into the Hall of Fame. None of the catchers yet have. A surprise to me. Yadier Molina still battling. Carlos Beltran is still there. Joe Mauer, Buster Posey. So some guys I expect to get there, but it is Pujols and Sabathia in this offseason. We have picked up our first international free agent signing on the amateur level. It is shortstop Julio Ramirez, a switch hitter. Look at these abilities, the 73 potential, solid enough speed, solid enough defense. Love the power potential from the switch hitting shortstop. This is very, very good for us because he came very, very cheap as well. See, nobody bidding against it, so I really like picking up Julio Ramirez. We have another one, Jorge Lugo, a right-handed hitting first baseman with a ton of power, some solid contact, no speed or defense, but he is a first baseman. So that's a very nice pickup. He has 80 potential. Again, adding to this minor league system all the way. And a relief pitcher, Jesus Vargas, only 47 potential, but look at the stuff. Potential closer, fastball, curveball. You never know what you're going to get with some of these guys. He was also very cheap. So we have some more money we're going to look to spend as well. And, another one, Rodolfo Mesa, 74 overall or potential in our starter. Look at the stuff. Incredible fastball, slider, changeup, big-time righty. So there's 4 guys just to add to the international scene for us. And we'll take a look at maybe some more as well. Okay, big news in Berryland. We have signed Freddie Freeman, 1 year, $13.4 million contract. Freddie Freeman has been brought into the Berries. Consistent offensive threat. Yes, he finished below league average at 98 OPS last season. However, what this really is about is I don't know where we're going to play him. First off, we'll figure that out as we go along. What this is really about is the fact that Freddie Freeman is popular and extremely popular in terms of his status. So what this does is it boosts our team and fan interest, and that is what this is all about. The fans are happy they acquired Freddie Freeman. The overall fan interest increases noticeably. I don't know where we're going to play him. We're going to have to figure this out. I don't want to move on from Edward Julian because Freddie Freeman is probably only a 1 year fix given that he's 38 years old, but look at the attributes. They're still really good. I think he can still produce offensively for us. And if he doesn't, then he's a 1 year guy and he's gone after the season anyway. So we need to figure out first base. We need to figure out DH. I'm not sure how we're going to put all these pieces together, but offensively, I think Freddie Freeman makes our team better. Well, our new owner is cutting our budget by $2 million. As always, it seems we're getting less and less money here at the moment. So we're making do with what we have. And we're getting into the preseason now. So we'll be approaching spring training soon enough, trying to get some minor league free agency filled out here to help with the depth at AAA. So we've officially made it to spring training. We've made a few moves. We have been affected a bit by our new ownership and not having the same amount of money that we've really had in the past. Our fan loyalty and interest is creeping up just a little bit thanks to some of the signings we made, guys like Freddie Freeman. Our owner we're tough on our money right now, so we'll see where we can go from there. Accounting wise, looks like our budget is going to kind of come down the next couple of years. Salary wise, we're in a good spot, but we have some guys that are reaching free agency. Grayson Rodriguez only has 1 more year after this one of club control, so we need to figure out what we're going to do there. For the most part, same with Edward Julian, Hayden Wisniewski. So a couple of these guys we have to really pay attention to. Carmen Mladzinski is probably a guy that we need to look at as well. So we'll see what happens there. We're projected at roughly $131-ish million here. We do come down the next few seasons. The big issue is going to be the Josh Naylor contract, was taking up almost 20% of our salary right now. So we need to figure out a way to get out of that. He still has an $18 million player option for next year. So maybe we can get through this season, pay it off, pay part of it off, and send him out the door and free up some space that way. Lots of free agents this year: Freddie Freeman, Hobie Milner, Kyle Wright, Griffin Canning, Edward Olivares. This could be a very busy deadline if we are not playing very well. Jaron Duran as well. I like what we have in terms of our pitching. Grayson Rodriguez, Griffin Canning, Robert Gasser, Kyle Wright, Brandon Sproat. We have some other guys like a Jack Leiter's in the bullpen. Chad Dallas could start. There is some nice pieces in the bullpen as well. The lineup is going to be interesting. We need to figure out a way to get Freddie Freeman into this lineup, and we'll see how this all plays out. Dylan Dreeling is the first player I believe that we have drafted who has an opportunity to make this team. He is coming to the team in spring training. He'll likely start in AAA as he performed so well at AA last year. 4.5 WAR at AA last year. So Dylan Dreeling is probably the first guy we're looking at really making it from our draft picks. In terms of our goals, our goals don't completely suck this season. I think we can handle that. We need to upgrade a position. We need to upgrade first base. I'm hoping Freddie Freeman can answer the bell for this, but that's a very low goal. Do we need to improve our draft record? So guys that we have a few years to do this, but guys who've drafted need to get to the majors. Jeff Mann is going to come to spring training for us as well. Our #1 pick from last year. He has been incredible through the minors. He might be up fairly soon as well. Improve our fan interest. We're hoping to continue to do that. Improve your international amateur findings. That way, I don't know if anybody's going to be up the next year or two, but we have till 2031 to make that happen and build up the team to reach the playoffs. So those are the goals. We'll work through our spring training off camera, and then I will get into the next video, which will be opening day. I'm not sure who will have opening day, but opening day for the Berries for the 2028 season. I hope you're excited as I am. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them for you. Make sure you comment down below. Go Berries, go. Until next time, take care, everyone.